What's up, guys? Your boy El checking, and look, we back in Cartagena, Colombia. And this time, I want to share some of the things I wish I knew about nightlife in Cartagena. So in this video, I'll be focusing on some things that kind of caught me off guard, and I think they'll catch you off guard too. So before you leave that pregame, you're gonna want to watch this video, cause them Cartagena streets could get a little tricky. So you ready? Let's get it. All right, guys. Look, first thing first, I want to talk about something I wasn't expecting, so I'm sure none of you guys will be expecting it either, and that's reservations in Cartagena. And this was a little disappointing for me because Colombia used to be a place where you could go and escape the Hollywood type vibes of the States, a place you could, arrive and walk right in and enjoy yourself, enjoy the night. But as these American and European investors and, people from out of town start coming in and putting their fingers all over the tourist industry, seems like that's changing. So two places I went to in Cartagena asked me for reservations, and it wasn't one of those flimsy requests like where you could, kind of buy your way in, say, hey, I'm gonna buy a bottle, I'm gonna buy a drink, I'm gonna get something to eat. It was serious. It was like Midtown Manhattan level vibes. Like you weren't getting in if you didn't have that reservation, like, or you was definitely gonna have to put up a fight to get in there. So I mean, it's kind of mind blowing that it's even reached this level, but that seems to be the route that it's going in. And I mean, it's crazy because once we got in there, both places were relatively empty. So I don't know if the business model, it just seems to be changing in cities like Cartagena and Medellin. It seems like they're going more for exclusiveness over paying customers type of I don't know, model. So I mean, this obviously wasn't the majority of the places in Cartagena, and both places, to be fair, were pretty upscale. But it's just something to keep your eyes out for, because especially for me when I'm planning, sometimes you have a certain place in mind, and the trip just doesn't feel right if you don't go to that specific place. So I would hate for you guys to go out ready, lit, enjoy yourself, and get stopped at the door for something as silly as a reservation. So my advice is, if you guys see a reservation link in the people's bio in the restaurant or lounge or club or bar or whatever, if you see a bio link, reservation link, just go ahead and save yourself the headache and just get that done. Just make the reservations. All right, next thing up, and a little more general than the reservations, is music in Cartagena. So a lot of people ask me what type of music there is to listen to in Cartagena. Is it all Spanish music? Do they play this? Do they play that? Right? And yes and no. So let's just start off by just doing an overview of how things kind of work in Cartagena's nightlife. So the main area for nightlife is Cartagena's old city. And this is kind of where you get your bars, you get your clubs, you get your lounges, a lot of that stuff. And the majority of those clubs honestly will play Spanish music. I don't think I've been in any club, especially when it comes to hip hop, that's like kind of hip hop only. Now, they do get into like a techno vibe. Like I've been in some places, especially if it's multi-floor places where they get in like a techno house vibe. Um, but specifically outside of genres like that, I don't think I've seen a spot in Cartagena like that. But so this is what I would say: go to a spot and expect for at most for it to be a mix. So they'll mix some hip hop in with the Spanish music and other genres and stuff like that. But I think that's kind of the best vibe you're gonna get. And I mean, it's it makes for good vibes. And my advice is always to try to assimilate yourself into the night. Even though it may not be the music that you love to listen to, you can still catch a great vibe and enjoy the night, especially with all the energy around you. But if you just feel like you gotta go to a spot that's playing majority of the music you want to hear, or giving a majority of the vibe that you want to hear, my best advice is to talk to the locals. So when you get to the old city, once the cab drops you off, you will find some locals who will be very interested in talking to you and guiding you to the spot you wanna get to. So I would say chat with them, and look, don't be shy about it. Tell them what type of music you want to hear. Tell them what type of vibe you're looking for. tell them exactly what you're looking for, and that's what they're kind of there for. They can be a guide for your night, because these dudes, they know everything. They know all the spots. They know everything going on, and honestly, a lot of people run away from these the locals who are trying to help, because they think they're gonna get I don't know, how do you say, um they think they're gonna get, let's just say, solicited for tips. But no, they honestly can help you, and of course, if they get you where you want to go, you could give them a tip. But yeah, tell them if you want a young and wild vibe, if you want a grown and sexy vibe, if you want a chill vibe, tell them, whatever you want, and they will point you in the right direction. So as far as music goes, look for the theme you want to hear, but don't be set in stone on that. Just try to enjoy the night as much as you can. All right, numero tres, dress code. So this is number one that I wasn't ready for, to be honest. This was straight out of, the Western world playbook, and the infamous dress code. It's made its way to Cartagena, and I'm sure it's going to progress to other cities in Colombia, more tourist cities as we go around. But it was only one spot that was really like dead set on, kind of enforcing the the dress code rule. And the spot, I forget the name of the spot, but I'll definitely put it here so you guys can see. And yeah, I arrived there in a sports jersey, and they said I could not get in, like, legit. And I mean, look, it wasn't a Stephen Curry sports jersey. If I could find a video, I'll put in how I look. It was pretty clean. It was sports jersey, designer hat. It was decent. I wasn't looking horrible, guys. Trust me, I wasn't looking horrible. It was a decent outfit. Um, but they just said no, they weren't playing that. And I mean, I had to respect it. The crazy thing is, and to be fair, I mean, they weren't going as hard, because I know some places in the States where they still wouldn't have let me in. They said as long as I take off the jersey, I happen to have a white t-shirt under it. And they said if I take off the jersey, I could get in. But with the jersey, I couldn't get in. So I mean, it was confusing, and I think that's kind of the problem with the logic or lack thereof logic in the dress code. Because basically you're saying that a white t-shirt is more formal than a sports jersey. I mean, to each his own, tomato tomato, but to me they're both pretty informal. So I mean, it is what it is. It's just something I think you guys should be aware of, because again, just goes back to the reservation theme. Sometimes you have your mind really set on one place, and it's really a bummer to get there and to be turned away at the door for something like, reservations, dress code, stuff like that, that you weren't even aware of. So it's just my 2 cents. Yeah, I think we could wrap it up there, honestly. All right, number four, prices and covers. Numero cuatro. All right, now what most people don't account for in Cartagena, just like some of the other stuff I went over, is covers. So again, all this depends on, how popular the spot is, how packed the spot is, what day you're going, stuff like that. They all factor into it, because you could go to a club one day and there's no cover, and of course, if the next day is super lit or they have a artist or a special DJ, there's a cover. So I mean, it's just something to look out for. Also, that again caught me off guard, because I do not remember paying a cover the first time I went to Cartagena. But things are changing, so it is what it is. Um, Now, it's this is where, like, talking to those locals that I was talking about can really help a lot, because again, they know all the spots, and before they even recommend the spot, they'll probably tell you, "Oh, you could go here, but there's a cover," or you could go here, but there's a cover. So talk to them, chat with them, and they'll get you the information that you need. So while I was there, personally, I never went to a place that had more than like a $7 cover, but I did hear some places going as high as like $10. I don't think I heard over that, but um, yeah. Now that I will say this, the place we paid for the cover, which was like $7, it was the most lit place, and the crazy part is it were locals there. So you would think this was like a tourist only phenomenon, but no, locals paid to cover also. So it is, I think, kind of pretty routine now, and some of the best places seem to really have the cover, because you get there, you get your bang for your buck. Because I definitely had a fun time in that spot. So it's something to keep in mind. I mean, just plan ahead for that. Just have that already set aside because, of course, I think as tourists, we always think, hey, I'm only getting charged this because I'm a tourist, and you know that in this case, that's not that's not true. But besides that, another thing I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking about is prices of drinks. So typically, I would say most drinks at a spot were like $10 or lower. I don't remember seeing too many drinks higher than that. I'm talking about like cocktails. Now, I highly recommend if you plan on buying um anywhere upward of kind of like 6 drinks, which is like what 3 drinks each if you're with somebody, just get a bottle. Just get a bottle of something. You'll come out cheaper, and I think you'll enjoy yourself more. So most of the bottles are like $60 if I can remember correctly. And this is of course like bottom shelf stuff. It might have been even cheaper, like Jose Cuervo, Absolute, um, like Chivas, if they don't have like the American brands. Most of those bottles are like $60, depending on the spot, of course. But I think that's a way better game plan than just kind of buying the drinks one by one because they do add up. All right, guys. So the last one on the list, and look, I wasn't sure if I was gonna add this, but I think it's kind of important, um, especially depending on what type of trip you go into, because Cartagena is just super popular now. So you got all type of trips. You got um, guy trips, you got girl trips, you got vacations, you got solo travelers, you got a little bit of everybody. But I do want to mention this. I think this is more for like cautious travelers. Um, but I give this backstory. So in Medellin, I met a group of American travelers, and they were asking me, hey, check in with where should we party? And I recommended Parque Giadas because I always have a fun time there. And they freaked out. They were like, no, that's like, we heard there's a lot of locals there, and this happens, and I was like, okay. Okay, I just recommended something I thought was a good idea, but nobody's forcing you to go there. But long story short, this made me kind of realize not everybody wants to party with locals. Not everybody wants to really acclimate to you know the neighborhood, to the city. Some people want just a separate type of experience. So um, I would say because Cartagena is small, the old city is kind of it for everybody. It's for the locals, it's for the tourists, it's for everybody. Everybody goes there. So you will be partying with locals if you choose to um, go out in the old city. And I just want, some people, whoever is watching this who may not be into that type of stuff, because look, the fact is you're going to be partying with good guys and bad guys. You're going to be partying with good girls and bad girls. Everybody there is just there to have a good time. But yeah, with that being said, just come ready to go out and enjoy the night, man. Doesn't matter who we with. Just come ready to turn up. But look, guys, this is my night guide to Cartagena. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I try to do things I don't think other people really touch on. I see a lot of the regular, oh, this, that. Look, I try to do stuff that I kind of just picked up on and that, I think some people aren't looking towards or looking uh at before they go out in the nighttime. So look, it's your boy L checking. Like I'm do all that. I'm out of here. Checking in one. What's up, guys? If you like the shirt you see me wearing in this video or any of my other videos, check out the description box below to get yours.